In this lesson, we're going to continue solving equations. In the last lesson, we introduced the basic concept of how to solve an equation. Remember, if you solve an equation, you use inverse operations to isolate the variable or to get the variable by itself. Well, in this lesson, we're going to take it one step further and look at how do you solve equations that have more than one operation. In other words, what do you do if you have both multiplication and division? Or I mean, not multiplication. If you have both multiplication and addition, or subtraction and multiplication, or some combination of multiplying or dividing and addition or subtraction. Well, you're going to also continue to use inverse operations in order to solve those equations that have more than one operation. And when we do this, most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, you're going to add or subtract first and then multiply or divide. In other words, it's almost like undoing the order of operations or doing the order of operations backwards. But so most of the time you're going to add or subtract first. Okay, that wasn't a very good underline. Okay, you're going to add or subtract first. Okay, so let's do several examples. Okay, so you have 9c plus 3 is equal to 39. Draw our line down to the equal sign to divide the equation into two parts. Now, I had just got finished saying we're going to add or subtract first. And the reason for that is, remember, we're trying to get the variable, in this case a c, by itself. So we want to get rid of everything that doesn't have anything to do with the c. So the 3 isn't associated with the c other than it's being added to it. Okay, so that's why we're going to get rid of that adding the 3 first. We're going to use the inverse operation. The inverse of adding 3 is subtracting 3. Okay, and we're going to do it on both sides. Okay, so when we do that, then we simplify. 3 minus 3 cancels out. We're left with 9c is equal to 39 minus 3 is 36. Now we're multiplying here, and the inverse of multiplying is dividing. So we're going to divide 36 divided by 9 and 9 divided by 9. 9 divided by 9 is 1, so 1c is just c. 36 divided by 9 is 4. All right? Then if we want to check it, okay, we always need to check it just to make sure. So we have 9 times 4 plus 3. Is that equal to 39? Well, we have 36 plus 3 is indeed 39. So that checks out. All right. Here's another one of those problems where the variable is on the right-hand side of the equation rather than on the left-hand side, but it doesn't make any difference, okay, because we're going to solve it the same exact way. So what are we going to do first? Well, we want to get rid of whatever isn't associated with the m. Okay, that's what we're solving for. So let's get rid of this minus 6. The inverse operation of subtracting 6 is adding 6. So we say plus 6 plus 6. Negative 6 plus 6 cancels out to 0. We're left with negative 4 times m. Negative 34 plus 6 is negative 28. All right? And don't forget my equal sign in here. Then this is multiplying, so we're going to divide by negative 4. Divide by negative 4. Negative 4 divided by negative 4 is a positive 1. So that's a 1m. Negative divided by negative is a positive. 28 divided by 4 is 7. So m is equal to 7, or 7 is equal to m. Well, so let's plug it in. Let's check it. Okay. So we're saying, is negative 34, is that equal to negative 4 times 7 minus 6. Well, negative 4 times 7 is negative 28. Negative 28 minus 6. And negative 28 minus 6 is negative 34. So that checks out. All right. Another problem. Okay. Divide it. Okay. Split the thing. The inverse operation of adding 6 is subtracting 6. So subtract 6 from both sides. The 6's cancel out. We're left with 7c is equal to 42. All right. Inverse operation of multiplying is dividing. So divide by 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1. We're left with c is equal to 42 divided by 7 is 6. All right. So check it. All right. So 7 times 6 plus 6, is that equal to 48? Well, let's see here. 7 times 6 is 42 plus 6, and 42 plus 6 is 48. Sure is. Okay? All right. Split it. Okay? All right. The inverse operation of subtracting 8 is adding 8. So plus 8 plus 8. Negative 8 plus 8 is 0. Cancels out. We're left with negative 6m is equal to negative 50 plus 8 is negative 42. All right. Divided by negative 6. M is equal to negative divided by negative is a positive. 42 divided by 6 is 7. All right. So plug it in to check it. Okay. You want to check. Negative 6 times 7 minus 8. Is that equal to negative 50? Well, negative 6 times 7 is negative 42 minus 8. And negative 42 minus 8 is negative 50. So that checks out. All right, so here we have one that looks slightly different because we have a division problem in here. But you know what? It doesn't make any difference at all because we're going to do it exactly the same way. All right, so we have a 6 in the front. Now, here's the thing. We have a plus sign here, but this plus goes with this over here. Okay, it affects the y plus 8. Right? It does not affect the 6. The important thing about the 6 here is that it is a positive. This is a positive 6. Right? The inverse of a positive 6 is a negative 6. Negative 6. Okay, so we do the inverse operations on both of them. 6 minus 6 is 0. We're left with y divided by 5 is equal to 21 minus 6 is 15. All right? And the inverse operation of dividing by 5 is multiply everything by 5. All right? All right, so 5 divided by 5 is 0, or is 1, which cancels out. We're left with 1y, or just plain y. 15 divided by 5 is 75. Let me double check. 15 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2 is 7. So, yep, it's 75. All right, so then we're going, I'm just going to check it on the side here. So check. We're going to say 6 plus 75 divided by 5. Is that equal to 21? Well, let's see here. So according to the order of operations, we're going to divide first, okay? 75 divided by 5 is 15. So we said 6 plus 15. Is that equal to 21? Well, 6 plus 15 is 21. So yes, it does check out. Okay? All right, last problem. It's another division problem. Okay, in this case, we have the more traditional layout, sort of, in the fact that that your variable is coming first. But okay, so we're subtracting 11. So the inverse operation of subtracting 11 is adding 11 to both sides. Okay, negative 11 plus 11 cancels out. We're left with x divided by 7 is equal to 20. And then I have to multiply by 7. The inverse operation of division is multiplication. Okay, so that leaves me with 1x, or just plain x is equal to 140. All right, so when I check it, I'm going to do it on the side here. So I have 140 divided by 7 minus 11. Is that equal to 9? Well, 140 divided by 7 is 20 minus 11, and 20 minus 11 is 9. So that checks out. Okay, so that is it. As you can see, it's related to what we did in the last lesson, and we're going to continue to work on solving equations for the next several weeks. So if you have any questions, make sure you ask, and we'll talk to you all later on.